Oh no, here we go again. The Grinch has stolen all the Christmas presents once more, but this time his heart won't grow 3 sizes. Santa sent his best elves to negotiate a way to retrieve the gifts, but all the Grinch wanted was an arm wrestling contest with Santa. With little choice, Santa agreed and made his way to the Grinch's cave. The two squared off, their fists clenched, each determined to emerge victorious. For Santa, winning meant reclaiming the stolen presents. For the Grinch, it meant keeping the gifts all to himself forever. Look closely at the scene. Who do you think will come out on top? This isn't just a story of good triumphing over evil. It comes down to raw physical strength. Santa's arm is visibly muscular, which makes sense. How else could he carry that enormous sack? The Grinch, on the other hand, has a thinner, less robust arm. He might not be able to compete with Santa's strength. I guess this time Christmas is saved once again. But beware of the Grinch and his cunning tricks. Who knows what else he might have up his sleeve? No surprise that the Grinch was extremely mad about the lost arm wrestling contest, so he decided to take his revenge. After some thought, he concluded that the best way to ruin the celebration was to create a fake Santa. He could find some aspiring actor, dress him up, and provide him with the nastiest presents. After some preparation, the doppelganger was ready to bring chaos to the town. The elves figured out that there was an imposter among them, and one of them even managed to snap a photo of the fake Santa. They decided to create an ad to hang around town to inform people about how to tell a real Santa from a fake one. So what are the 3 details that can help distinguish the real from the fake? The beards are the same, the noses are the same, and the clothes too. But here's the first detail that gives the imposter away: the eye color. The real Santa has blue eyes, while the doppelganger has brown eyes. The second detail is that the fake Santa somehow doesn't have any eyebrows. Lastly, the fake Santa wears a tiny earring, while the real one doesn't wear any jewelry at all. Alright, it seems the Grinch has finally calmed down, allowing Santa and his elves to prepare for the Christmas season. It could have gone smoothly, but now there's a new problem. The trusty automatic gift dispenser, which allows the elves to quickly collect the gifts they need, is broken. Instead of only dispensing Christmas-themed gifts, it has started producing the wrong ones. It's all about those keys. They must have been misplaced when it was last fixed at the mechanics. So, which keys don't fit the Christmas theme? We have 3 misplaced keys here. The first one is right here. It's an SPF cream, which may not be the best match for the holiday season. Next, we have an ice cream cone. And lastly, there's a pumpkin. It fits perfectly for Halloween, but not for Christmas. The holiday season is intense, and sometimes there are so many gifts to pack that the elves don't even have time to prepare and eat lunch. To address this, Santa hired Jessie, a kind girl who is now in charge of keeping the elves happy and well-fed. On her first day in this new role, Santa handed her a shopping list and sent her grocery shopping. On the way to the supermarket, Jessie was unexpectedly confronted by none other than the Grinch. Luckily, he didn't harm her, but he did steal the list. The Grinch thought this would ruin Santa's plans, as hungry elves might go on strike. Jessie, however, was scared of losing her job, but she was too frightened to return and ask Santa for a new list. So, she decided to figure it out herself. Looking at the shelves in the supermarket, what should she buy? Candy corn, syrup, and candy canes went straight into the trolley. Hot chocolate and marshmallows could be great additions as well. However, Jessie needed to avoid heavier foods that might upset the elves' stomachs. So, items like Wurstles, garlic, and bacon were off the list. Oh, and she could also grab some moss to treat the reindeer. Do you remember the stolen shopping list? It was taken on purpose. The Grinch couldn't recover from losing the arm wrestling contest, so he decided to ruin Santa's life. To do that, he needed to know what elves eat. His plan was to send an anonymous parcel filled with treats for elves, but these treats had to be poisoned. This way, the Grinch could eliminate the elves and maybe even Santa once and for all. He purchased sugar canes that elves loved and coated them with potent poison. Then, he had the parcel delivered straight to Santa's door. It was Jessie who opened it. She unpacked the food and placed the treats into the box where all the sugar canes were stored. When Alfie, the clever elf, came to pick one, he immediately realized that half of the treats weren't safe. How did he know? Well, if you recall, the poison Grinch coated the sugar canes with had a yellowish tint. If you mix red and yellow, you'll end up with orange. Therefore, the sugar canes with orangey stripes weren't safe to eat. But Alfie decided to play it safe and get rid of all the sugar canes altogether. After all, you can never be too sure. The Grinch kept a close watch on Santa's house and soon realized that his sugarcane sabotage had failed. He concluded that in order to sabotage more effectively, he needed to get inside the house. Fortunately, there was a dinner party at Santa's, and he knew that Santa had invited a multitude of snowmen. So the Grinch fashioned a snowman disguise and prepared to crash the party. No invitation required, since Santa was always pleased to welcome any snowman. However, at the entrance stood Alfie, the clever elf, who was tasked with ensuring that no imposters slipped through the door. Can you help Alfie identify who shouldn't be let in? Look closely at the snowman holding a takeaway coffee cup. That beverage is hot, and if it doesn't melt the snowman entirely, it could very well melt one of its hands. This indicates that the snowman isn't made of real snow. It's just a costume concealing someone who definitely should not be attending the party. Alfie was well aware of the recent misfortunes unfolding around him. The sugar canes and the snowman imposter, he recognized that it was the Grinch behind it all. While he understood that the root of the Grinch's antics was his own ulcerated self-esteem, Alfie couldn't shake the worry that the Grinch might truly ruin the holiday season. To mend fences and brighten the situation, he decided to send the Grinch a gift accompanied by an apology note. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. The Grinch returned the package with a scrawled note that read, "I don't need no presents from you." So what was the real problem? It wasn't Alfie who had a beef with the Grinch, it was Santa. Moreover, the Grinch viewed Alfie as beneath him. The issue wasn't the gift itself, it was lovely, but Alfie shouldn't have claimed it was from him. If he had written, "Let's make peace, best wishes, Santa," who knows? Perhaps the Grinch might have accepted it. After the failed attempt to broker peace between the two camps, Alfie sought advice from Jessie. They discussed the situation and realized they needed to talk to Santa as soon as possible to persuade him to address the tricky dilemma involving the Grinch. They both came to the conclusion that they needed to convince Santa to make peace with the Grinch, even though they knew he would likely disagree. So, they decided to request that Santa grant one of their dreams. Santa agreed, but only if they could solve his riddle. The riddle was, where does Christmas go before Thanksgiving? After some contemplation, Alfie and Jessie figured it out. The answer was in the dictionary. With the right answer, they were now ready to task Santa to make their dream come true. They wanted to ask him to make peace with the Grinch. Let's hope Santa takes action, or else our Christmas could be ruined.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.